The rain poured heavily over the quiet village, turning the narrow roads into rivers of mud. Trees swayed in the wind, and dark clouds covered the sky like a thick gray blanket. In the middle of all this, a shining black luxury car slowly rolled down the road, its tires sliding and spinning. Inside the car sat Mr. Ramesh, a rich businessman from the city. He was annoyed. His phone signal was weak, his clothes were slightly wet, and now his expensive car had stopped. Ugh. Stuck? In this filthy village, he muttered, hitting the steering wheel. Outside, the tires were deep in the mud. The more he tried to push the accelerator, the deeper the car sank. No one came near. A few villagers watched from under their roofs, but they didn't step forward. To them, this man was just another rich outsider. Then, from a small corner near the fields, a thin boy appeared. He was barefoot, his clothes were old and torn, and his face was covered in mud. But his eyes were full of courage. His name was Sohail. Sohail looked at the car, then at Mr. Ramesh. Without saying a word, he ran to find some large stones and wood pieces. He started placing them behind the tires. His small hands moved fast, and the rain soaked his shirt. Mr. Ramesh lowered his window. "Hey, what are you doing?" "I'm helping," Sohail said simply, breathing hard. Before Mr. Ramesh could stop him, the boy shouted to a few other boys nearby. "Come, help me push." 2 more boys joined, and together they pushed hard while Sohail directed the wheels. After a few strong pushes, the car finally moved forward with a loud noise. The tires caught on the stones and rolled out of the muddy trap. Mr. Ramesh stepped out of the car, his shiny shoes now spotted with mud. He looked at the boys, especially Sohail. "You helped me," he said, sounding surprised, "even though you didn't know me." Sohail wiped the mud from his face and smiled. "You needed help." Mr. Ramesh chuckled. "You're a smart kid. What's your name?" "Sohail." "Well, Sohail," he said, pulling a card from his wallet, "if you're ever in the city, come see me. I'll reward you for this." He handed Sohail the card, got back into his car, and drove away. The shiny car disappeared into the distance, leaving behind smoke, mud, and a hopeful little boy. Sohail stared at the card in his hand. He couldn't read all the words, but he saw the name and address printed in gold. His heart was filled with pride. He had helped someone important. Maybe this was the beginning of something better. But the rain didn't stop. Sohail walked home, slowly, his feet slipping in the wet soil. His house was small and broken, made of bricks and tin sheets. Water leaked from the roof. Inside, his mother was lying on a thin mat, coughing badly. "Ami," he whispered, sitting beside her. She opened her eyes weakly. "Where were you?" "I helped a man with his car. He gave me this." Sohail showed her the card. His mother touched his face. "You always want to help people, Beta, but we need help too." That night, Sohail couldn't sleep. His mother's cough grew worse. They had no medicine, no doctor nearby, and no money. He looked at the card again. "This man is rich," he thought. "He said he would reward me." He made a decision. The next morning, before the sun rose, Sohail packed a small bag. He took a piece of dry roti, a bottle of water, and the card. He looked at his sleeping mother and kissed her forehead. "I'm going to find him," he whispered. Without telling anyone, he left the village. He walked on foot along the road, his bag over his shoulder and hope in his heart. The journey to the city was long, but Sohail believed in the words the rich man had spoken. He didn't know what the city would be like. He didn't know that not all promises are kept. But he believed, and that belief would take him on a journey that would change his life forever. Sohail walked along the dusty road, his small feet sore and tired. The sun was now shining brightly, and the rain from the day before had dried into patches of wet mud and puddles. His shirt was still damp, and his bag felt heavier with each step. But he didn't stop. He held tightly onto the card the rich man, Mr. Ramesh, had given him. It had become his ticket to hope, his only way to save his mother. Just reach the city, and everything will be okay, Sohail told himself again and again. The journey wasn't easy. He walked for hours without food. He passed trucks, buses, and cars that threw dust in his face. Some people looked at him. Others ignored him completely. One kind fruit seller gave him a small banana when she saw him sitting on a roadside bench, looking weak. "You look lost, Beta," she said gently. "I'm going to find a man who promised to help me," Sohail replied, holding up the card. She read the address and shook her head. "That's far. You'll need to take a bus from the main road. But be careful." Sohail thanked her and continued walking until he finally reached a busy bus stop. He had never seen so many people in one place before. The noise of horns, people shouting, and vendors selling things made his head spin. He waited and waited until a bus arrived. He didn't have money, but he climbed in quietly and sat at the back. The conductor yelled at him at first, but when Sohail explained he needed to find someone in the city to help his sick mother, the man looked at him with pity and let him ride. "You're too young to be a lone boy," the conductor said, shaking his head. "People in the city, not all are kind." Sohail nodded silently. After almost 2 hours, the bus reached the big city. Tall buildings touched the sky. Traffic moved in every direction. There were shops, signs, and so many people that Sohail felt like a tiny dot in a giant puzzle. He held up the card again and asked a few people how to find the address. An old man at a tea stall pointed him in the right direction. "That's a big house," he said. "That man is famous, a big businessman. You'll know when you see it." Sohail thanked him and followed the directions. His legs hurt now and his stomach growled with hunger. But when he turned the final corner and saw a huge white gate with gold handles and guards standing outside, his heart skipped a beat. "This must be it," he whispered. He walked up to the gate slowly. One of the guards stepped forward. "What do you want, boy?" "I want to meet Mr. Ramesh," Sohail said softly. "He gave me this card. He told me to come to him." The guard took the card, looked at it, and laughed. You think a boy like you can just walk in here?" "But he promised," Sohail said quickly. "He said he would reward me. I helped him when his car was stuck in the mud." The other guard looked at him closely. "Wait, is this the same kid from that village highway story?" he asked. "His friend. I think the boss mentioned something about it." The first guard frowned. "Even if he did, the boss is in a meeting. Go away now." Sohail's heart sank. He stood there helplessly as the guards pushed him away from the gate. He sat on the footpath outside the mansion, his bag beside him. His eyes filled with tears, but he wiped them quickly. "I came all this way," he whispered. "He can't. Just forget." Hours passed. The sun turned orange and then the sky turned dark. Still, Sohail waited. Finally, a black car arrived and entered the gate. Through the window, Sohail saw Mr. Ramesh sitting in the back seat, busy on his phone. Sir," Sohail cried, running after the car. "It's me, Sohail." The car didn't stop. Mr. Ramesh didn't even look up. The gate closed behind the car and the guards stood silent. Sohail stood outside in the cold air, alone. His dream had brought him to this city. But now, standing there with empty hands, he realized something painful. Not all promises are true. But this wasn't the end of Sohail's story. Something was about to happen. Something that would change everything again. Night had fallen in the big city. Streetlights flickered. People rushed home. Cars honked, and the air smelled of fried snacks and smoke. But one boy sat quietly on the footpath, tired, cold, and heartbroken. Sohail hugged his bag tightly and looked at the big white gate of the mansion where Mr. Ramesh had gone inside hours ago. His small voice broke the silence. "He promised." Just then, an old man selling tea nearby noticed him. The vendor had seen many faces come and go, but something about this boy sitting for so long in the same place caught his attention. "Hey, Beta," the tea vendor called. "Why are you still here?" Sohail looked up, his eyes red. "I came to meet a rich man. I helped him when his car was stuck in my village. He promised to reward me, but he didn't even look at me today." The tea vendor walked closer, holding a small paper cup of warm tea. "Drink this, it'll warm you up." Sohail took the tea with both hands. It felt like the first kind thing all day. "You know," the vendor said gently. Sometimes the rich forget their promises, but not all. People are bad. Sohail nodded slowly. My mother is very sick. I walked all the way to ask for help. The vendor looked at him with soft eyes. You have a strong heart, son. That's rare in the world. He gave Sohail a piece of bread and said, Eat this and sleep in that corner. Tomorrow is a new day. That night, Sohail curled up beside the wall near the mansion gate and stared at the stars. He thought about his mother's weak cough, about the muddy road, and about Mr. Ramesh's smiling face when he promised to help. He slept with a small hope still alive. Next morning, the sun rose over the city. Sohail was still asleep when a black car drove out of the mansion. Sitting in the back seat, looking out the window, was a girl about 10 years old. Her name was Ashi, Mr. Ramesh's daughter. As the car stopped briefly at the red signal, Ashi saw Sohail curled up on the sidewalk, his clothes dirty and his face pale. She tapped the window. Who is that boy? She asked the driver. The driver shrugged. Just a poor boy. He was here yesterday. Too. Why didn't anyone help him? She asked, her voice full of concern. No one asked, the driver replied. Ashi bit her lip. Take me back home. I want to tell Papa. Inside the mansion, Ashi ran into her father's office. Mr. Ramesh was on the phone looking at documents. Papa. She called out. He turned. Yes, Ashi, what happened? Do you remember the boy who helped you when your car was stuck in the mud? She asked. Mr. Ramesh nodded. Yes. I gave him my card. Why? He came here yesterday. She cried. He's still outside. He was sleeping on the footpath, Papa. You promised him help. Mr. Ramesh looked up, surprised. He came? Are you sure? Yes. The guards didn't let him in, she said firmly. That's not fair. Papa. Mr. Ramesh's face changed. He suddenly remembered the boy's eyes, his small hands full of mud, and his kind smile. A feeling of guilt filled his heart. Without another word, he stood up, grabbed his coat, and rushed outside. Outside, the gate, Sohail was sitting on the sidewalk, rubbing his eyes. The black car stopped in front of him and the door opened. Sohail, a voice called out. Sohail looked up. It was Mr. Ramesh. The rich man stepped out and walked toward the boy. I'm sorry, he said softly. I didn't know you were here. I didn't see you. Sohail stood up, unsure of what to say. You helped me when I was stuck, Mr. Ramesh said. Now it's my turn to help you. Tears welled up in Sohail's eyes. For a moment he thought he was dreaming. Come inside, Mr. Ramesh said, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. You will not be left alone again. As the gate opened and Sohail stepped into the grand house, people began to whisper and watch. But Mr. Ramesh didn't care. He had made a promise. And now, finally, he was going to keep it. Sohail stepped into the grand mansion with slow, unsure steps. The floor was shining like glass. Expensive paintings hung on the walls. Golden lights glowed from the ceiling. He had never seen anything like this in his life. Mr. Ramesh walked beside him, his hand gently resting on the boy's shoulder. Don't be afraid, Sohail, he said with a kind voice. This is your home now, for as long as you need. Sohail looked around nervously. Everything was too clean, too quiet. He missed the sound of birds and cows from his village. Soon, a maid came with clean clothes and warm food. Take a bath, change your clothes, and eat something, Mr. Ramesh said. Then we'll talk. Sohail nodded slowly and followed the maid to a guest room. The room was larger than his entire house in the village. The bed was soft, the blanket smelled like roses, and the bathroom had water running from the wall like magic. After washing up, he wore a clean shirt and pants. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel the weight of dirt on his skin. He sat down to eat. Rice, dal, vegetables, warm roti, and even sweets. He whispered, Ma would be so happy to see this. Later that evening, Mr. Ramesh sat with Sohail in his office. His daughter Ashi sat beside them, watching quietly. So, Sohail, Mr. Ramesh began. You told my guards that your mother is sick. Yes, sir, Sohail said softly. She coughs all night. We don't have money for medicine. That's why I came. You said you would help." Mr. Ramesh looked into the boy's eyes and nodded. "I remember. I meant it. I will help your mother. I'll send a doctor tomorrow to your village. And if needed, we'll bring her here." Sohail's eyes filled with tears. "Really?" "Yes," Mr. Ramesh replied. "But first you must rest. You've walked far and you're tired." Ashi smiled. "You can stay in my brother's old room. He's studying abroad now." Sohail looked at her and smiled shyly. "Thank you." That night, Sohail lay on a soft bed, but he couldn't sleep. His eyes stared at the ceiling, his thoughts running wild. Why was Mr. Ramesh being so kind now? Why didn't he help yesterday? What if he changes again tomorrow? Still, for the first time in many days, he wasn't hungry or cold. Slowly, he closed his eyes. The next morning, Sohail woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside the large window. The sun painted the room with soft golden light. A driver was already waiting to take the doctor to Sohail's village. Mr. Ramesh stood near the car, handing a small bag to Sohail. "There are medicines, food, and some money. The doctor will help your mother. You can stay here as long as you want." Sohail hugged the bag tightly. "Sir, thank you." Mr. Ramesh smiled. "You helped me without asking for anything. Should have helped you that same day. I forgot, but my daughter reminded me what kindness looks like." Ashi waved from the doorway. "Come back soon," Sohail smiled. "I will." Back in the village, when the car stopped outside Sohail's small hut, neighbors came out surprised to see a city doctor in a big black car. Sohail ran inside. His mother was still coughing, her face pale. "Ma," he cried. "I'm back and I brought help." The doctor came in quickly and examined her. He gave her medicine, checked her lungs, and gave instructions to the neighbors. "She'll be okay now," the doctor said. "She just needs rest and regular care." Sohail held his mother's hand. Her eyes opened slowly. "You came back," she whispered. "Yes, Ma," he said, crying. The rich man kept his promise. Her hand gently touched his cheek. "You have your father's courage and your heart." Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Mr. Ramesh stared at an old photo on his desk, a picture of a poor farmer who once helped him during a flood many years ago. That farmer was Sohail's father. He whispered, "I never said thank you to him, but maybe I can now, through his son." Sohail stayed in the mansion for a few more days. Every morning he would call his mother with Mr. Ramesh's help. Her health was improving, and her voice was getting stronger. He had clean clothes now. He was eating 3 meals a day. He even started learning how to read and write with Ashi's help. For the first time in his life, Sohail felt safe. But not everyone in the mansion liked him. The head servant, Mr. Kumar, watched Sohail with cold eyes. "Why is this poor boy staying here?" he whispered to another maid. "He doesn't belong in a place like this." Another maid replied, "But Sir said he saved him in the rain." Mr. Kumar frowned. Even so, something doesn't feel right. One night, Sohail woke up thirsty and walked to the kitchen for a glass of water. On his way back, he saw a door slightly open near the library. He had never seen that door before. Curiously, he peeked inside. The room was dark, but there were many old boxes and pictures on the shelves. He stepped in quietly and saw a photo frame lying on the floor. He picked it up. It was a photo of a man in muddy clothes, a farmer, standing next to a younger Mr. Ramesh. Sohail stared at it. His heart started beating fast. "That man, that's my father." He remembered the face. His mother had shown him the same photo many times. His father, now gone, had helped someone important during a flood. Was that someone Mr. Ramesh? Suddenly, someone grabbed his shoulder. "What are you doing here?" It was Mr. Kumar. His voice was sharp, his grip was tight. I got lost," Sohail said quickly. "I was just looking around." Mr. Kumar took the photo from his hand. He looked at it and narrowed his eyes. "Stay out of this room, it's not for you." He pushed Sohail out and shut the door behind him. The next day, Sohail told Ashi about the room and the photo. Ashi's eyes widened. That's strange, I've never seen that room either. And you said the man in the photo looked like your father? Yes. My mother has the same photo in our house, Sohail replied. Ashi thought for a moment. Sohail, I think there's something we don't know. Maybe your father and my father knew each other long ago. They decided to ask Mr. Ramesh together. Later that evening, Sohail stood nervously in front of Mr. Ramesh's office. Ashi held his hand. Mr. Ramesh looked up as they entered. What is it, children? Sohail took a deep breath. Sir, I saw a photo last night, in a room near the library. The man in the photo, he was my father. Mr. Ramesh was silent. His eyes stared into the air for a long time. Finally, he spoke, his voice soft. Yes, it was your father. Sohail blinked. You knew him? Mr. Ramesh nodded. Many years ago, there was a flood in my factory area. My car was about to sink. People ran. But one man stayed back and pulled me out of the water. He gave me food, shelter. That man was your father. I promised him I would return and help him, but I never did. His voice broke. I became busy. I forgot the faces of the poor who saved me, and by the time I remembered, he was already gone. Sohail's heart felt heavy. Then why did you say nothing before? Because I was ashamed, Mr. Ramesh said. Ashamed that I never came. Back when I saw you that day in the rain, I felt like I saw him again. His courage, his heart, his honesty. He stood up and walked over to Sohail. I can't bring your father back, but I can take care of you, as if you were my own son. Sohail's days in the mansion had become warm and full of hope. Mr. Ramesh treated him kindly. He started calling him Beta, son. Ashi taught him to write his name. Even the guards began smiling when he walked past, but not everyone was smiling. Mr. Kumar, the head servant, watched from the shadows. His anger grew every day. How can a boy in rags be treated like family? He muttered. This house has rules. He does not belong here. He made up his mind. I will remove him, quietly, forever. One morning, Sohail woke up to find his small bag packed on his bed. He was confused. Mr. Kumar walked in, pretending to smile. Time to go, boy, he said. Sir has other business. He asked me to arrange your ride back to your village. Sohail's heart sank. But Sir never said anything to me. Mr. Kumar's smile turned sharp. Do you think someone like you belongs here forever? Come, say goodbye. Sohail slowly walked downstairs with his bag. His feet felt heavy. In the main hall, Mr. Ramesh was reading a newspaper. Ashi was next to him. Sohail stood there unsure, then said, Sir, am I leaving? Mr. Ramesh looked up, shocked. What, who said that? Kumar sir packed my bag. He said you told him. Mr. Ramesh's face changed. Kumar, he shouted. Mr. Kumar walked in calmly. Sir, I thought the boy's stay was finished. Who gave you that right? Mr. Ramesh's voice was cold now. This child saved me. His father once saved my life, and I gave him my word. Sohail is staying. Kumar's face turned red. But sir, he's just a poor village boy. Mr. Ramesh slammed the table. Enough. Don't forget who you're speaking to. Sohail is family now. Sohail stood quietly. His hands were shaking. Ashi came forward and hugged him. You're not going anywhere, she whispered. But Mr. Kumar wasn't finished that night. Mr. Kumar made a secret phone call to someone from Sohail's village. I have a job for you, he whispered. Bring Sohail's sick mother here. She's weak, right? Use her to make the boy leave. I'll pay you well. The man on the other side agreed. The next day, a sick woman arrived. Sohail was playing in the garden with Ashi when a guard ran. Up, there's a woman at the gate, he said. She says she's your mother. Sohail dropped the toy in his hand and ran. There she was, weak, wrapped in an old shawl, leaning on a stranger. Ma! He cried, hugging her tightly. She coughed and smiled. My son. Mr. Ramesh came quickly. What's going on? The man beside Sohail's mother said, she was worried. She missed her son. I thought I'd bring her here. for her peace of mind. Mr. Ramesh frowned. Something didn't feel right. He looked at Kumar, who stood in the corner silently, watching. Later, that night, Sohail sat beside his mother, helping her drink warm soup. "Ma," he said, "why didn't you tell me you were this sick?" She smiled weakly. "I wanted you to stay happy. You were safe here. I didn't want to take that away." Tears welled in Sohail's eyes. He thought deeply. Should he stay here and learn, or go back and care for her? He walked to Mr. Ramesh's room. "Sir," he said softly, "I want to take my mother home. She needs me." Mr. Ramesh nodded slowly. "I understand, but I'll send a doctor and help her. And when she gets better, both of you can return, together." Sohail's eyes lit up. "Really?" "Yes, beta. That's my promise." But behind the curtain, Mr. Kumar was listening again. He clenched his fists. "Even now he wins. That boy will never leave this house for good, unless something happens." Kumar walked away into the dark, a dangerous plan forming in his mind. Late at night, the mansion was quiet. Rain poured outside. Lightning flashed in the sky. Sohail was sleeping beside his mother. Mr. Ramesh was reading a book in his study. Ashi had gone to bed early. But someone was still awake. Mr. Kumar. His heart was filled with jealousy and anger. "That boy ruined everything," he whispered to himself. "He must leave forever." He took a small pouch from his coat. Inside it was poison, powdered and colorless. "Just a few drops in the mother's drink," he said with a wicked grin. "She'll fall ill again, or worse, and they'll both be sent away." Moments later, Mr. Kumar quietly stepped into the kitchen. He found the soup prepared for Sohail's mother. Everyone in the house was asleep. With shaky hands, he opened the pouch. But as he was about to pour the poison, "What are you doing?" the voice came from behind. Kumar froze. It was Mr. Ramesh, standing in the kitchen doorway. Behind him stood Ashi, holding a phone. She had been recording everything. The trap had been set. Ashi had overheard Mr. Kumar's phone call 2 nights ago. She had told her father everything. So they waited, watched, and tonight, the truth came out. "You tried to poison an innocent woman?" Mr. Ramesh's voice shook with anger. "She trusted us. That boy trusted you." Kumar's face turned pale. He fell to his knees. I was only trying to protect this house. That boy, he doesn't belong here." Mr. Ramesh shouted, "He belongs here more than you ever did." The guards rushed in. Kumar was taken away, still begging. Next morning, Sohail woke up to see his mother smiling. Ashi was beside her. "My son," his mother said softly, "you saved me again." Mr. Ramesh entered the room and sat beside them. "Beta, from today, this is your home. You don't need to choose between your dreams and your mother. Both will stay here." Sohail's eyes filled with tears. He stood up and hugged Mr. Ramesh tightly. "Thank you, sir. I'll never forget this." Days passed, then weeks. Sohail joined a nearby school. He studied hard. Ashi became like his big sister. Mr. Ramesh treated him like a son. His mother's health improved too, with good food, medicine, and rest. One day, while playing in the garden, Sohail said to Mr. Ramesh, "When I grow up, I want to help kids. Like me. Poor kids. I want to be just like you." Mr. Ramesh smiled. "You'll be better than me." 1 year later, a charity home stood at the edge of Sohail's village. Clean beds, warm meals, books and smiles. It had a name at the front gate, Sohail's Promise, a home for hope. Mr. Ramesh had built it, with Sohail as the inspiration. Sohail visited every week and told the children, "I was one of you. I had nothing, but kindness changed my life, so now I will help change yours." The children looked up to him with bright eyes, and far away, in prison, Mr. Kumar sat on a wooden bench, watching the news on a small screen. He saw Sohail smiling beside Mr. Ramesh. The reporter said, "Once a poor boy in rags, Sohail is now the youngest advisor to a millionaire's foundation." His story is a reminder that even one act of kindness can change a life forever. Kumar looked away. The boy he tried to remove had become a light for others. Final scene: Sohail stood by the same muddy road where he once met Mr. Ramesh. Rain was falling gently, just like that day. He held his mother's hand and smiled. "Sometimes," he said, "a small help becomes a big miracle." His mother nodded. "And sometimes the richest people are not the ones with money, but the ones with heart." They walked together through the rain into a new future.